Welcome to Sales Bites by Journey, where we talk about everything you need to know to be a killer at sales. I'm your host, Will Jenkins. Let's get it. Well, hello. My name is Will Jenkins, CEO and founder of Journey, and welcome to Sales Bites. Today, we have Dushawn Falls, CEO of Tenacity Express. Dushawn, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. I'm excited to dive in here. I actually had the pleasure of meeting you through LinkedIn, which is where I meet a lot of our guests. I love it. It's always fun to get a chance to connect and chat sales with other sales veterans, man. So thank you for being here.
Man, thank you for having me again. Of course, we met through LinkedIn. I was inspired by your journey and everything like that, which is it was crazy because the name of your company is Journey, right? But man, met through LinkedIn. I think it was a beautiful interaction, and we've been, pretty cool ever since. So I enjoy it.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you. So as we get started here, we always love to kick it off with a fun fact and then like a 10,000 foot overview of your career. So not the whole synopsis, just like a quick run through. So hit me with the fun fact. Give me a quick overview of your career.
So a fun fact about me is I'm extremely routine. I think I can't really have a day where I don't get a workout in a small, like maybe 10, 15, sometimes 20 minutes in the sauna. Like that just caps my day right there. For me, that makes my day. It don't matter what happens during the day. If I get that in, I'm good. So that's my fun fact. Yeah.
I love that, man. Taking care of yourself. Good stuff.
Have to.
Beautiful. Okay. So give me a quick rundown of your career before we dive in.
Quick rundown, started off in the logistics industry in about 2000, I want to say, 2012-ish? Yeah, about 2012. Started off as a driver for CR England. Then I went to Night Swift. Then I went to Ryder for a little bit. Then I went to Ruan Transportation, finally opened my own trucking company in 2018. Did that, scaled up to 10 trucks, closed it down, started a brokerage. And I've been doing the brokerage space ever since. So yeah, it's been a journey.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, it's always really cool to connect with people that have been on both sides. A driver, an asset-based organization, now in brokerage, just incredible experience. So I appreciate it, man. This is going to be fun.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So we're going to talk about building sales funnels, a lot of different things to unpack there. So let's just start at the top, man. When you think about building sales funnels, what does that mean to you?
So in my opinion, building sales funnels it's like gathering a list of organizations that you can help, first of all. So before you even start to build your funnel, you will want to niche down. You kind of want to have a lot of different companies that are similar, right? So that way you're not switching in between different niches as you're making those dials. It's kind of all of the customers are similar and you're able to have a cadence. So, and then as you're building that funnel out, you know that only 20% of those companies are probably going to even be interested, and then maybe 10% are going to be interested in doing business, right? So it's a process. It's a process.
We're coaching a new sales rep or teaching a sales team how to build their initial funnel. Walk me through your thought process of doing that.
Okay, so initially I would start with, if you want, you should buy a lead generation tool. I prefer to use Apollo. Some people have Sales Dash and different tools like that, but you need a lead generation tool in order to build a list of companies. When I first started, I used Google, but it's so time consuming. So I would suggest you spend that little $100 a month to, get a lead generation tool. And then
we would say use Shipper CRM.
Shipper CRM,
shout
my
out,
bad.
Shout out. It's all good. Yeah.
I need a free demo.
We got you. Yeah.
But yeah, get your a lead generation tool, decipher which companies that you want to use. So niche that list down. And then I would say even take it a step further by seeking out who actually has email information available, because you don't want to have a whole list of names unless you want to do a whole bunch of discovery calls to get the emails and everything. But if you can just bypass that step by only using people within the organization who you have email access to. So that makes it a little bit easier. And then as you do that, you're building what's called a sales sequence, a cadence, if you will, right? So in our industry, obviously it has longer sales cycles. So your sequence you kind of want to make your sequence to where it's um, in alignment with the longer sales cycle. So let's say if the sales cycle is 120 days, then you want to have that pipeline built to where it is having maybe 20 touch points within that 120 days, even more sometimes. But you just kind of want to have a customer journey. You want to have a sequence, a process of discovering and elimination, pretty much, if you will.
Got it. Okay, so I'm a seller. I need to figure out what lead gen tool I'm going to use, get my contacts. After I get my contacts, I'm going to build my sequence to get in front of them. Talk to me a little bit about how, as you qualify or disqualify opportunities, because that's just part of the process, what types of things do you use to know if a prospect is a good fit and if you should continue selling to them? Because that's part of building a good sales funnel too.
Well, for me, it depends on what you're looking for. For me, I'm always looking for a lot of volume. I started off the business kind of, looking at customers. If they had one or two shipments, that would be fine. But as I started to grow, my business started to see it was sporadic, right? It's up and down because the customers are up and down. So you kind of want to find customers that have the decent volumes, more than 20 loads a month. So that's kind of the questions you would ask. How many shipments are you moving a month currently? What's your usual freight spend look like? Of course, then you want to qualify that niche too. Is this the type of niche that we're looking for? For me, I'm in the refrigerator space. So of course I already kind of did my background research, but still, are the shipments usually frozen? What the temperatures are you usually using? Like just different things like that in order to qualify. And but the most important thing for me at this moment is how many shipments are you currently moving a month? That's big.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I've seen coaching and developing sales talent is that even if someone is really good on the phone or writes good emails or runs good calls, if they spend their time talking to customers that are too small or don't have the right type of freight, man, it doesn't matter how good you're on the phone, talking to the wrong type of people, right? We're shooting at the wrong targets.
Absolutely. You get to the finish line and you find out this is not the kind of customer for you. And it takes so long to get a customer onboarded and everything. You find out, wait a minute, we're only doing maybe 2 shipments a month and they're kind of hard to move. It's not the kind of customer that you want to onboard. Nothing against them. It's just, if right. You're trying to build your business, it's probably not a good situation.
Totally. So talk to me about things that you do after you've qualified an opportunity. Cool. So you've had some contact with the decision maker. You qualified that they're a fit. If you're coaching a sales rep to keep that opportunity moving forward in your sales funnel, what are some things that you do next to keep it going?
So once I qualify, I have a sequence built out. Throughout the process of the sequence, mine is a 120-day sequence. Is sending out personalized emails throughout the time of the sequence. So some of them are personalized. Some of them are just business related, what's going on in the market, things like that. Because I use email for just touch points. It's not necessarily to book meetings and things like that. It's more of a market employ. Hey, this is what we do. Hey, this is what we're seeing in the market right now. And then as I call, that just builds that familiarity. So, we kind of have that, at least that email relationship. And then I'm using those emails to just build conversation. Hey, I'm following up on that email that I sent. Did you get it? What'd you think about this? Or just different things like that. So that's kind of how I would coach the salesperson.
Understood. So one of the things that I always like to get a feel for is if you've got some sequences going out that are personalized, how do you tailor those to make sure they resonate if these are going out and it's picking certain things to kind of pop in there so that when Dushawn gets the email, it's for him versus whatever 100 other people that may have gotten that email?
So how I like to do it, initially, I'm going with automation and then I go to personalization. So if I see there's interest, you clicked a couple, links that I sent out and you looking at my emails because, of course, the sales software can see a lot of this stuff. I'm not sure if people know, but, yeah. we can see if you clicked on things or if you're looking at our emails. And then that leads me to the personalization point. So if they are interested from just a viewing my email and clicking standpoint, then, okay, that there might be some interest there, right? So now I'm going to start to personalize because I might send, let's say a week for me, maybe, I think right now we're currently probably like 150 emails, something like that. So if 20 of those people are looking at them, those are the 20 that I'm going to start to personalize. And then those other ones that didn't view, I'm going to just phone call on those and try to do a discovery call if I can.
Got it. So let's talk about, you've qualified it, you're personalizing, you're starting to get some engagement from a DM. How do you move those from some engagement and get it over the finish line? The next couple things to get that person to give you your first load and to start to get an opportunity to work with them.
So this is all dependent upon the customer. Some customers move fast. Some customers take a little while. The ones that take a little while usually are the better ones in terms of value, but you just never know. But those smaller guys, they move pretty fast. They're interested in the price. And that's not the worst thing in the world, especially you're building a startup, you're trying to get off the ground. So the way I would do it is those customers that kind of seem eager about quotation and price and things like that, those are the ones that I offer quotes to quickly. You know, hey, you got a couple shipments that you're looking to quote this month, or what I'll do is I'll wait till a day like a Thursday, for instance, right? Hey, if you have anything that you want to quote to wrap the week up or to get a head start on next week, you know, I'm available all day and I give them my hours. I'm available today from 8 to 5 and just throw it out there like that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But for the most part, those guys that are interested in those quotes, they're usually sending out those shipments to quote.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So let's talk about full cycle here to kind of put a bow on this. So You've gotten it through there. You get your quotes out. Boom. You get an opportunity. You win that load. I think this will help sales reps as they're building their books. What are some things that you do to nurture an account to retain it? Because you and I both know it's easier to keep a customer than it is to go and find a new one. It costs way more to do that. So, you know, you worked your tail off, 120-day cycle, et cetera, as long as it may be. How do you make sure those customers stay?
So all throughout the process, as we know, this word gets tossed around a lot. It's a relationship business. So we got to keep that in mind when we're talking to customers. I'm asking them questions about family, asking them questions about the things that they like, just different interests that they have. I'm a big gift sender. So like last year, I sent a lot of gifts out, jerseys, sweatshirts, hoodies. I bought somebody's dad a race car jacket, like just doing different things in order to let them know that, hey, this is about more than the actual freight. And, you know, we built a relationship, a friendship. If there's anything you need beyond this, I'm here. So just continue to build the relationship, try to personalize it, meet them in person. There's different things like that to put a face with the name, because a lot of times we're on the phone. So just doing different things in order to ingratiate yourself in their heart. You want to be in their heart, so they know when they got that shipment, I want to give it to Dushawn. And then sometimes too, they might leave the organization. You want them to be able to take that relationship wherever they go. So that's kind of how I like to do it.
Totally, man. I think those are all really good points. As we get ready to wrap up here, I'm going to just go through some of the notes that I took and would love for you to fill in anything that I may have missed as we wrap up. So the first thing you said is niche down. So get specific with the types of companies that you sell to, the types of modes that you use, so that as you're selling, it's a little bit easier to equate similar types of companies and similar types of services. So first thing, niche down. Then you said use some sort of lead generation tool to keep your leads solid and make sure that you can get those contacts. Next, you said, build out that cadence and that sequence. So you've got your sequence, however long that may go based on your sales cycle. Qualify volume and spend. Also qualify mode and niche so that you know that the people you're talking to are the types of customers that you want. Because we don't want to waste our time selling to people.
No.
And then shoot, man, you get to the finish line and you're like, this ain't it.
I've been there.
Same. I know. It's the worst. So that's super important. I also think it's just a really good thing to point out for new sellers, because you get really excited when people reciprocate. You're like, oh my gosh, somebody's engaging with me. But like, I don't really mean that's the customer that you want, right? Like that might not be it. So the next thing that this is actually something super new to me. I've always been in the camp of hyper personalization, and I've never done sequencing, like never in my sales career. So I try to learn as much as I can about different methods. This is interesting. So automation to personalization. You're saying, all right, let me cast some lines and then use the tools so I can dictate what my next messages look like. Cool. You seem to be somewhat interested because you're reading and checking it out. So now I'm going to hyper tailor what I'm saying. That's super unique.
Yeah, that's something that I didn't do before. Before I did everything personalized. And I'm like, if I want to scale my sales efforts, I got to have some automations. I got to have something in there And and that's the beautiful part about niching down too. These emails will benefit this entire list that I have, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, that's the beautiful thing about niching. And you can niche. The cool part about all of these automation tools that we have now is you can niche into any niche, right? So just because you are specializing in one niche, you can still build a whole entire sequence with some other niches as well. And if you like those, you can use both sequences. So no, it's cool
Totally.
to go from automation to personalization for sure.
Yeah, makes sense. And then the next thing you mentioned was mirroring response time and things. Like if people are moving quick, you got to move quick too. I think that's just generally important in sales. You want to mirror the tone and how people are progressing to make sure that you're staying on top of what they're expecting, and then maintain that relationship. It's not just winning the load. It's still developing that relationship, because it's easier to retain a customer than it is to go and find a new one. So those are great sales bites, Dushawn. I appreciate you, man.
Oh man, thank you, brother. Thank you.
Of course. Before we wrap, anything else to add on the sales funnel and building your sales funnel?
I think I'm good. I think that's it. I think I did pretty decent.
Beautiful, man. Well, we really appreciate you sharing your insights, man, and thank you so much for joining Sales Bites.
Thank you.